Hello everyone. So let's resume our discussion of current affairs. In the last class we studied about the Directorate General of Civil Aviation, etc. Next, yes, I would not suggest you to write, to include these aspects largely because this, UNESCO Global Education Monitoring Team, they will be coming repeatedly again and again. All right, so you don't have to, worry as such. Okay, you can confidently skip it. Okay, there are many authentic facts which you can later on include. All right, next, something very important but very given very small, in a very small way here, is United Nations Conference on Ocean. All right, so here it has taken place in a place called Nice, which is in France. And United Nations Ocean Conference, matlab, we need to protect our ocean. Why? Because very importantly, note here, uh, 2021 to 2030, it is considered as ocean decade. Matlab, we need to keep our ocean, you know, clean. We need should not pollute it, and also more importantly, it is part of sustainable development goal. And according to this, according to the ocean conference, that a global event that happened, sufficient funds are not being given for the management of oceans. So in this particular discussion, see, these are the common themes that they have discussed. Basically, marine pollution, ocean acidification, matlab increasing carbon content, and because of this, the coral bleaching happens. All right, and atmospheric carbon dioxide slowly diffuses into it. All right. Then overfishing and illegal fishing, conservation of marine ecosystem, and sustainable blue economy. Blue economy, economy which is thriving by using the oceanic resources. So it talks about sustainably using the blue economy and conservation of marine ecosystems. All right. Now, you should note here also that the last that happened was in Lisbon, that is in Portugal, in the year 2022. That is why UPSC generally it focuses on these small issues but globally important issues. All right. Then, chalo. Yes, you can confidently skip this particular things. But something very important is Naksha. Like you have various, military exercises like that. Oh, sorry, this is not a military exercise one. That comes in tomorrow's topic. All right. Let me show you. Naksha training. All right. Naksha is basically a national geospatial knowledge-based land survey of urban habitations. So basically geotagging important urban assets. And also see, for example, if I want to buy some certain property, if it is geotagged, then wherever I will be able to, if I apply loan throughout India, such people can, bank officials, anyone can easily look at whether any loans are pending, very, is this a valuable asset, what is its market rate, so that government's tax collection also will improve and tax compliance will also improve. All right, and also we are bringing more and more technology into governance. Okay, again, very important for the mains examination. But one thing you should note here for the prelims is that, okay, for the prelims is that it is started not by Ministry of Information Technology but Ministry of Rural Development. Now in this context, you can also write about, okay, some of the other schemes of various state governments or other schemes, for example, Pattayam, a digital land record modernization. Okay, in the same way, Mahabulek, urban property survey, so that the government can immediately look at whether the taxes are paid properly, what is the market rate, are people trying to underestimate the value of their their market, the land revenues, and pay less tax to the government. Apart from that, apart from that, some of the other related schemes that you should be very aware, okay, which you can actually add value in the mains examination, are are Swamitwa, very important scheme launched by Ministry of Panchayat. All right, it basically uses drones and GIS mapping. It is similar to basically a survey of villages and mapping with improvised technology in village areas, so that tahsildars in every particular tehsils, they will be having they will be having a geotagging of assets using drones, and give property guards to all the property holders, so that transfer of property, paying of taxes, the government's revenue collection will be everything up to date. Then similarly, National Urban Digital Mission and PM Gati Shakti are some of the peripheral things where the government is trying to bring information technology etc. into governance. Okay, then comes a small but important but again repeated area. Okay, in next slide it will be repeated. Now something called Cyprus. All right, Cyprus. I'm sorry, Cyprus. So Cyprus is located. See, this is the Mediterranean Sea. Here is Egypt. All right, here is Tunisia. Okay, so the recent conflict that is happening now, Mr. Modi, our honorable Prime Minister, has visited Cyprus. Now Cyprus, it's some part of that Cyprus is claimed by Turkey. So Cyprus is want to have an independent country status. Now Turkey is a very it has been officially supporting Pakistan in various means. In fact, during the Operation Sindur also, it provided drones to Pakistan. All right, and so in that context, in order to in order to warn Turkey that we are watching your activities and we are supporting someone who do not who is not in consonance with you. That is why Cyprus. All right, and during this, some of the important agreements, honors given to the Prime Minister has also started, which we'll discuss in the next slide. But remember the capital in the match the following Nicosia. All right, important. Apart from that, don't worry about any other things. Okay, because this region, may you don't have to study things in very detail because you will not have sufficient time. All right, in the mains examination. Okay, now continuing the Cyprus thing, let me show you. Continuing with the Cyprus thing. Uh, See here, uh, Prime Minister of India visits Cyprus after 23 years. So in this particular thing, you should focus on where is the Cyprus location, and Cyprus is also a kind of tax haven. All right, matlab many billionaires use that Cyprus as a route to put their black money or white money, tax evaded money, and Cyprus does not give the information in a fair manner to the outside public. All right. So one thing you should note here, Modi ji has been accorded with Grand Cross of Order of Makarios 3. All right. It is one of the highest civilian honor. Now, sir, what are the other honors which are being given, accorded to Indian Prime Minister? Of late, of recently. Okay, you don't have to go dig deeper. Okay, Order of Saint Andrew Apostle. So it is by Russia. Order of Zaid by by UAE. Legion of Honor. Okay, Legion of Honor by France, and Grand Collar of State of Palestine, and similarly some more additional. Okay, these things, yes, definitely it's not a mains question. Okay, match the following in the prelims. All right, Order of Nile and Champion of Order of Lagoho by Papua New Guinea, and it's also located in Southeast Asia. All right, and there's Order of Distinguished Rule of Nishan Izzuddin by Maldives. ओके, ऊपर ऊपर से याद रखना क्योंकि प्रीलिम्स में काम आता है. ठीक है, देन लेट अस गो टू समथिंग. What are the important things that happened during the prime minister's visit? Now last class we had discussed about international sorry, India Middle East Europe corridor. So the corridor comes something like this. All right, it comes something like this. All right, so it is passing via even Cyprus is also part of this. All right, so you should remember. So one thing, and another is Cyprus is among the top 10 investors with a cumulative investment of nearly 15 billion in last 25 years. Now, Cyprus has been very vocal in supporting India's permanent membership in United Nations Security Council. So UN reform you can write. All right, nuclear supplier group. All right, NSG. It's a group of group of countries who have nuclear technologies, but when before sharing the technology with others, they want those countries to sign NPT. All right. So in that context, it is important, and yes, in the preliminary examination, again, because it's highly unlikely, all right, unlikely in the sense 99.9% chances are that they will not ask in the mains examination. All right, entire Europe they can focus. At that time, you can have one of the value addition as Cyprus and recent prime ministers visit there. All right, then comes a comprehensive partnership. The government wants to have a joint declaration. All right, and one thing, something you need to focus here is the world is looking for an ordered based, because in domestically we have our own orders, all right, our own rule of law, etc. But in the international community, everyone serves according to their national interests. So, what is that common rules based international order? Because China does not respect the international law, nor for America also does not respect it, or for that matter, Israel or Iran, they did not respect the international law. All right. So rules-based international order is very, very important, and which China is also, sorry, Cyprus has also, accepted. All right. Now coming to this is something very important which we'll discuss as we go. Coming to the next most thing is the first assembly. Remember very, very importantly, in the year 2023, India launched on the 50 years of our Project Tiger, started in 1973. All right, 1973. In that context, to commemorate India's successful story, successful journey in conserving the tigers, and in fact, you should have a fair idea that India has world's 75% of tiger population. All right, tiger is one among the other cats. Tiger is one among the other cats, and other cats are which are given here. And in this, jaguar and puma, they are not in India. All right, and their IUCN status, you should have a fair idea. And remember, except tiger, which is classified as endangered. All right, all other are of vulnerable status. And yes, in the preliminary examination, you need to look at some of the geography mapping in which all the hill stations or the Himalayan ranges, especially snow leopard and leopard and cheetah. All right, you need to have a fair idea, because these are typically UPSC ka favorite areas, ecology and environment. All right, and in India, yes, we have Wildlife Protection Act. Now, this is the first assembly. Why? Because 2023 they established, and now they want to plan for to conduct every 2 years. So, sir, something more important is its headquartered and its secretariat is located in Delhi itself. That is, India is the host country. All right. Then, apart from that, sir, what are the big cats? Okay, because they come under cats. So, what are those big cats? They are tiger, lion, leopard, snow leopard, and cheetah, jaguar, and puma. All right. And sir, how many countries are there? Approximately 96 countries are there. And are they including only tiger range countries? No. Apart from that, non-range countries are also included. So, something which those countries which are interested. All right, then, sir, what are the importance of tiger in ecosystem? What role do they play? That for that NCRT is the best one. All right, and what are the benefits of tiger? For example, it promotes tourism. All right, and it is also a keystone species, something which is essential for the very survival of overall health of an ecosystem. All right, then something International Labour Conference (ILO), International Labour Organization. It is one of the oldest organization of United Nations. All right, they had conducted an important meeting regarding important labor concerns. All right, matlab labor concerns in the sense nowadays platform economy. Platform economy matlab something like Ola, Uber, where workers are working in the form of a gig. All right. Then, on a like a freelance basis, workers are not associated with any particular company, but rather they work with multiple companies on a gig basis. Okay, sir, you give the work, you give the payment. Basically, it's informal. All right. Now, what about the rights of the workers? What about maternity? What about their pension? What about limited amount of work, work hours? All right. What about women protection, etc.? It is not internationally accepted. So, in order to enhance, they have made a formal discussion on that. Now, let us see. International Labor Conference. Yes, you can quote this in the General Studies paper 3. Okay, important. Then, so adopted a biological hazard in the working environment. Okay, environment convention. Basically, workers have to be protected from various type of biological health hazards. Now, here there is a famous convention, convention number 192. UPSC has asked this type of question. All right, convention 192 was recently in news in the context of child labor, in the context of women empowerment, in the context of ILO, in the context of nuclear energy, etc., etc. So just remember this. All right, then the change approved amendment to maritime labor convention. What is it? Basically calls for right to shore leave and repatriation, and call for recognizing seafarers as key workers, matlab the workers in the maritime sector. All right, yes, India has ratified this. Again, whatever India has ratified in the recent times, it is important. Okay, then decent work for the platform workers, and then as much as possible let us try to reduce the informality, that is the gig workers ka their informality has to be reduced, they have to be formalized. All right, ILC adopted a resolution to reduce informality and support transition to formal work. All right, then there is something noteworthy that you should see here. Second World Summit for Social Development. In that context, let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you. Okay. Okay. The first that the first uh, World Summit on Social Development. First World Summit took place in the year 1995, and the second World Summit took place in the year. It is going to take place in the year 2025. All right, November में Doha में. All right, so keep a tab of it. Likely a question in the as a part of your current affairs. Then something more important is the Global Coalition for Social Justice. Prelims में direct आता है, mains में कुछ नहीं आने वाला है. Okay, the Global Coalition on Social Justice is an initiative of ILO started in the year 2023. All right, started in the year 2023. So, what is this? To bring all the multi stakeholders, matlab international bodies, NGOs, academia, and governments, all of them, so that to reduce the inequality and enhance decent work and social protection. Because the new era is becoming more and more uncertain, AI is coming, and the wars are happening. So, what about the rights of the workers? Is what is this discussion about? Then comes one of the a very important topic you would say. Okay, a Stockholm International Peace Research. Okay, International Peace Research, SIPRI. It's a very prominent institute which conducts research about what is the what is the various arms trades that happen in the ammunitions, which country is lagging behind, where it has increased exponentially. In that context, something which is important for the preliminary examination and mains of UPSC, let us look at. Don't have to worry. Yes, you can quote in the mains, but in the ethics paper you can quote. All right, about CPRI, because we are try to write as much as possible in favor of, if not favor, at least do not oppose the government. Okay, as a civil servant, because you are going to be recruited as a civil servant only. All right. So what they are trying to say is all across the world, nuclear stockpile is on a general decline, but India, China is increasing. For example, India says, approximately 180 warheads. All right. And in that context, one thing I want to remind you is India is has developed this 180 nuclear warheads using plutonium, not uranium, not uranium. And in fact, Operation Smiling Buddha, conducted in 1973, was also based on plutonium. It is not uranium. All right. Then China and Pakistan have used highly enriched uranium and plutonium, but while India largely mainly plutonium is the main source. Then, what are some of the international treaties concerning nuclearization? This is the most important. One is Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty in the year 1970. All right, yes, it is governed by United Nations. Okay, what does it say? Just to ensure that you know, uh, do not spread the nuclear weaponization technologies to other countries, because it can create more damages whenever there is a war breakouts. So that is one of the reason why the Cold War that did not become never became a hot war, or for that matter, we have seen only two world wars, that too just within a span of 10-20 years. But after that, there have been no world wars, largely because countries are having nuclear weapons. Then, so who are the okay? So it is a binding treaty, and India, Israel, Pakistan have never joined. Iran had joined once and withdrew it. North Korea, okay, it has withdrawn from this one. Then comes Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty (CTBT). All right, CTBT comprehensive. Again, all type of military nuclear explosions should be banned. Okay, if you sign it. All right, but those countries which have, they are asking others to sign it. So India has not signed because it is discriminatory. Then partial test ban treaty. Matlab you should not test nuclear weapons in atmosphere, outer space, and underwater. All right, India signed and it has ratified it. Okay, important. And then something called Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty. START treaty. It is between America and Russia to reduce their nuclear ammunition surrounding, uh, you know, uh, uh, wherever you have kept, you need to reduce. So, bilateral nuclear arms control treaty between, but remember, the start, though it was started in 1990s, the further negotiation try to denuclearize, don't keep, nuclear arms surrounding to Russia is what Russia is asking. At the same time, America has also accepted. At the same time, this the recent conflict that has happened between Russia and Russia and Ukraine. Russia has now tried to withdraw from this particular treaty or not to renew. Why? Because by 2026 this is going to end. All right, for almost after 15 years that is going to end. So they don't want to renew. Okay, so just ऊपर ऊपर से याद रखिए, but important है. Then coming to this, let's finish something some more simpler ones simpler ones. So Cyprus is done. Then is cyber suraksha. Cyber suraksha is like a you might have heard yesterday or day before yesterday you might have got a message from Department of Telecommunication that they are conducting a exercise that to check whether your phones are digital hygiene. All right, or any type of spying is taking place. So they wanted to check. That is basically a part of cyber suraksha. All right, so some of this basically to maintain the digital sanity. So some of the initiatives done by the government of India towards better cyber you know uh, uh, security is Indian Cyber Crime Coordination Center I4C. Very very important. Then Computer Emergency Response Team certain, or it works under Ministry of Information Technology. And the more important thing is it conducts various military security exercises. Okay, all the aims and ISRO, DRDO are all protected by certain. All right, and it keeps on telling the Indian community, especially the software community, to keep how to keep your systems safe from away from hacking, because information is a new oil, they would say. All right, then Cyber Swachhata Kendra. All right, to provide free tools to remove all the malwares and virus. Okay, and yes, this is a typical. You will be studying in mains in detail. Okay, you need to have some 25 to 30 points to include in the mains examination. Then comes the census in 2027. So we are breaking from that decadal. All right, 2021, 2011, 2001. Now they are going to conduct from 2027. All right. Now the Mother Act, which empowers, this one is the Census Act. All right. But you should know here, for the first time, caste enumeration is happening. All right. Caste enumeration matlab you belong to which caste and what are the property that you hold, and what is the education level, and whether you own a house or not, how many members are there, what is their or literacy level, etc. is what is enumerated. And once census starts, we will discuss upon the various or once the news, more additional news comes, we'll discuss about how the census is conducted, what is this population enumeration, what are the criteria that are used, and what is the India's real population. Okay, but remember, this has come after so much of deliberation. Caste enumeration is happening in India after 1921. All right, so almost 100 years ke baad or 110 years ke baad. All right, so uh, so again important from the prelims and mains point of view. Then PM Vani. Okay, let us discuss this something important. PM Vani. So if I have a shop, if I have a shop XYZ, okay, a small shop, say a pawn shop, then the bigger companies like Geo, like Airtel, they can keep their Wi-Fi routers there so that public access to internet. Remember PM Vani. Okay, PM Vani, Wi-Fi access network interface. Okay, it is part of one of the essential nine pillars of Digital India scheme. All right, launched in the year 2016 itself. Digital India to digitize all the to digitize all the public places. Right, sir. What is Digital India? You just have to go through once again. But in this context, let me tell you that in this context, let me tell you. Okay. So uh, you can just check the nine pillars of Digital India. All right. So broadband highways, public internet. It is this part which is in news. All right. So easy harvest program, early harvest program, universal access. Yes, there are many content to do here. But let us look at PM Vani. So PM Vani में क्या होता है? A small shop can, a small tea shops, okay, that provide Wi-Fi hotspots. So you can, in the near, because generally now if you go outside, especially in rural areas, you will not get access to proper internet, or internet might be slow. That time you will get access to Wi-Fi, and you can download this Wi-Fi chop all. A small mobile apps are also provided where you can pay as small as 10 rupees for 1 hour. All right, this is what is public infrastructure, which will increase access to internet access, and more importantly, it will contribute towards economic development. People will start going using UPI. Okay, it will improve banking. All right, people can watch educational videos, etc. All right, then something more important, yes, we'll be winding up for today. The rest, that is especially the quantum key distribution technology, yes, we have said, I have made notes of it. Okay, it requires some more time. Okay, I need to discuss some of the basic aspects. What is quantum? Okay, what is quantum technology? Why it can be, why it is difficult to encrypt? Because UPSC can, circumvent many of the commonly available coaching institutes, basics, and they want to check your, general understanding. They don't want you to very technical. All right, hello, we are winding up for today. God bless you.